Alright, Bampots, gather round for a review of the latest StephenKing adaptation to grace our screens, Salem's Lot 2024. Now, I've been waiting for this one like a vampire waiting for sundown, but let me tell you, it's about as satisfying as a watered down pint of Tennent's. Let's start with the positives, shall we? Lewis Pullman, bless his cotton socks, does a decent job as Ben Mears. Nah, he's no David Soul, but he does a reasonable job as a laconic writer, returning to his somewhat troubled roots. I'll give him that. And the atmosphere? Aye, it's got that creepy New England small-time vibe, a bit like King himself, that'll make you want to check under your bed for fanged beasts. But that's where it all goes tits up, folks. The pacing's about as smooth as a Highland cow's backside. 1 minute we're settling into a scene, the next we're whisked away faster than you can say, "Jings, Crivens, help my bob." It's like the editor was paid by the cut. Now let's talk about the special effects. Sweet suffering Jesus, I've seen better CGI in a primary school PowerPoint presentation. The vampires look about as scary as a man in a rubber mask at a pound shop Halloween party. Danny Glick at the window was hilarious. I actually laughed out loud. And don't get me started on Barlow. The head vampire looks like he's wearing a mask rejected from the Poundland version of Nosferatu. As for the scares, well, if you enjoy jump scares more predictable than a Glasgow weather forecast, you're in for a treat. Every tense moment ends with a cheap scare that's about as satisfying as a deep-fried Mars bar without the batter. The character development is so thin, you could use it as tracing paper. The romance between Ben and Susan moves faster than a Ned running for the Polis. 1 minute they're making eyes at each other, the next they're practically married. And I know Americans are most likely to put out on a first date, but this is just ridiculous. It's about as believable as me claiming I don't like a wee shot of whiskey. And let's think about poor Alfred Woodward and William Sadler. These talented actors are given roles so thankless, they might as well have been extras in the background of a funeral scene. In the end, Salem's Lot 2024 is about as satisfying as a haggis made with vegan sausages. It's watered down, it's a CGI heavy mess that does about as much justice to King's novel as I can to a salad. Sure, there's a few decent moments. The drive-in movie theatre scene is a wee bit of fun, but overall, it feels like a rushed job, trying to cram a novel's worth of story into less than 2 hours. It's like trying to fit a Highland cow into a Mini Cooper. It just doesn't work. There's maybe a reason why the previous attempts to visualise this were TV miniseries. So, should you watch it? Well, you've got nothing better to do and you've already ordered your sock drawer by type, colour and material, then sure, give it a go. But don't say I didn't warn you. This Salem's Lot is about as scary as a toothless Nessie and about as faithful to the book as I am to my diet. In the end, it's just another reminder that sometimes the most terrifying thing in horror isn't the monsters, it's the Hollywood execs who keep greenlighting these half-baked adaptations. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a stiff drink to forget this cinematic travesty. Slange var, as we actually say in Scotland. Get it up,